Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're at a little different angle here because I am showing you my college art book. I took one semester in college and this is the accumulation of that. Some of them are good drawings, some of them are not, but overall it was a really fun class and I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a big thumbs up, subscribe down below, and leave a comment of which is your favorite sketch. Alrighty, so let's get started. So this is just a Strathmore sketchbook, pretty basic. It is 100 sheets and it is 11 inches by 14 inches. So I taped the front, as you can probably tell, because I always seem to like rip my sketchbooks and things. So on the first page here we have this series that is basically we're practicing dark gradients to light gradients and different patterns. This class is like I think the very first easiest college art class, so some of these things are kind of simple, but I figured I'd show you. This is just regular no pattern, some hash marks, and then I did this like little tiny flowers all the way over here, which that took quite a long time. The next drawing is just a simple block. This was, oh, and some of these will come out because we had to tear out our best drawings, like 20 of them or whatever. So this is just a simple block. I actually really like this one. I'm not very good at shadowing and I think I did a decent job at this. Yeah. Some more blocks, as you can tell. I might have to adjust the camera here. But, so I think these were just simple, very simple, like easy, do it really quick. And then the one down here is a little more detailed, rounded edges, and looks a little more realistic. We then had to do these very annoying, I guess it's, I'm trying to think of the word, it's where you have like one point, and then you have all of your objects going towards that. I'll have to look up what that's called. And so we created these graphs, and then on our transparent paper here we drew blocks. And I mean, drawing blocks isn't that difficult, but this took way too long for what we were doing, in my personal opinion. We have one more here, but this time it is 2 points, one on each end, which I'll move this down. Oh, you can't really see that well. As you can tell, still on that paper, so when you hold it up they just look like blocks, but that is underneath. We also had to do a bunch of rough sketches, so she'd have us sketch something really quick just to get the feel of how it should be and where you want your hand to go. And then this is the final sketch that I did. It's just a little pot. It is not anything weird. I like the shading on this. I like when I am darker on my lines and everything because it just looks cuter. So then here we just have a little bottle. I've noticed that glass is very hard to draw. I did an okay job. On this we used like, we had to do like hash marks. What are they called? I think they're called hash marks, but basically where you just do little lines to shadow and draw things. Here, I don't really remember what this was all about, but I had a good idea for it, but I just remember I kind of gave up on it. This one over here, which I didn't finish, and I think maybe I just started over. I don't know. I was gonna do like a dark background, I think, so it would really like contrast where like the light is coming from. But I didn't finish, as you can obviously tell. This sketch was just for fun. I never finished it, but I wanted basically the background to sort of look like this dark with these lights coming through. I think that would be actually really cool if I did finish it. Well, hopefully you can see these okay. This is just more rough sketching. Oh, you know what? She had us do this without looking at the paper. So all we did was look at the scene and draw that. Then we just had to draw an outline of the like silhouette, and then we had to pick one object of the still life, focus on drawing that. So this is the next drawing that is complete. I'm holding it close because my camera is not wanting to focus on it. This one I actually really like. I really like how the tablecloth turned out and all those shadows and details. I thought I did a good job. The only thing I didn't totally like is how I chose to shadow this floor right here. I'm assuming I just got lazy and didn't shadow the walls because that just looks really unfinished. But up close here you can see there's like a little wicker ball. There's also a faux fur sitting on the table, and then a vase. But really like that one that I did. This was another perspective drawing. I didn't put too much effort into it, but I did get these desks. That's pretty much what it was looking like, which I struggle with that perspective and how big certain things should be in real life. But I did an okay job. As you can see, I did this like little, what she had written on the board, which makes it all that cartoony, sort of looks like it's out of a children's book. I absolutely think this is a horrible drawing. It is totally off on perspective. This is just so off, and then this doesn't even line up with how that should be. So it looks like a deformed coffee kettle thing. Lots of more boxes. Again, looks like different shading. There's some stripes here, some scribbles, plain box, plain box, plain box, and I think they all had to have like different shadows. So I zoomed in here because there are two scenes on this one page. We had to go around campus and pick two buildings and do a drawing on them. I think I did okay. Definitely the dimensions of things are off, but my perspective is pretty okay. It's a lot easier when you're looking at something, but like in reality, I don't know, it's a little squished this way. Everything should really be more elongated. But you know, I did okay. It looks like the building. Then down here we have this, and this is the opposite. This was stretched out way too far compared to how high it is. But my teacher actually really liked this because she thought it was like cool how it looks exaggerated, that it just goes on and off forever. The next page here are just little green army men. I was not feeling it on this, but they turned out okay. Definitely these guys, the first ones that I drew, were the best out of them. And then you can tell I just sort of was like, okay, we need to do this so many times. But these shadows are pretty good. These are not so good. So here we did a lot of this. You had to draw 3 different angles, and then you drew like your actual drawing. So I did one laying down, one standing up, and then one facing away from me, and I chose to draw it facing me. I think the camera turned out really well. My background is not that good, but the camera looks pretty good. And it looks like we had to draw another one. I don't know why, but this one's not as detailed, but it, you know, it's kind of fun, cartoon-like. This one we had to take our shoe and then recreate it. I changed like the material, so this I thought would be a green suede with a wooden sole here, and then it would be stitching, like gold stitching with gold buckles, and a little gold plated A for Audrey on the heel. So not too much different. They really look similar, just different materials. This drawing is pretty terrible. The dresser is so bad. Like, it's literally smushing. I don't really know what's wrong with it. I just know that something is wrong with it. I think maybe it's just not the right angle. Honestly, sometimes when we do this like 1-point perspective sort of thing, it messes me up in how things are supposed to look, because it's like so dramatic. Like, look at this door. I don't know. It's supposed to work, and I guess maybe I just don't do it all the way correctly, but so I'm not totally sure how this one is supposed to be. I'm assuming it's this way because this is where the shadowing is. But it's supposed to be a crumpled piece of paper. It really just, I mean, it's detailed, but I don't really know what the heck it looks like. So take it for what it is. So here we have a dollar bill, and I thought this one turned out so much nicer than the crumpled paper. And maybe that's just because you can kind of tell with the pattern how it's supposed to be. But I thought that turned out pretty good. Next we did, again, you have to draw it 3 different perspectives and then a final one. This one did not actually take me that long, and I think it turned out really nicely. This little guy is also super cute, the first one. I actually picked a perspective that I drew the worst originally, but I definitely think I fixed it. I stood him up straight how he was. This is just a little plastic owl that we were copying. So here we have just a bunch of rough sketches of flowers, and on the next page you will see that they are more detailed on the next one. But this is what they look like complete. I really like how this one turned out. I would actually probably frame this. I think it would be cooler with color on it maybe, but I think it's just interesting. For this one, I also really like how it turned out. I just think that it's kind of weird drawing. Like, what a random, this is like a little metal tin for, I think, hot chocolate. And then my hands are in there just opening it, but we had to do something where it's like movement in a sketch. So this would be, I'm pulling it up with my hand, and the drawing is the motions going this way. More hands, and again, more of this drawing in different ways, different perspectives, and then you have your final drawing. I really don't like this. It just looks gross. Like, this burrito does not look appetizing at all. And another burrito, which that is a Qdoba burrito, and this drawing does not do Qdoba burritos justice. And I also totally creased this page, but I don't care because I don't like this drawing. Oh, you know what? So for this drawing, we went to a coffee shop on our campus, and we had to draw something in the coffee shop. So this is actually a girl that was in my class, and she was just sitting there doing her work, and I thought it was cool with these metal chairs and her sitting there. I actually sort of like it doesn't really make any sense, but she has like no body here, but I sort of like that look, how it's just floating here. Here we have 2 little elephants. I don't know why I guess maybe we just had to draw a small and a big version to practice that. Some people, I think, struggle with blowing things up or shrinking them down. So I have my mini elephant and my big elephant. I like it, except I wish I had made this trunk longer, and something about the eye, I think maybe like smaller. But I do like how I did the skin. It's really textured. We have another drawing that I really don't like. It is just a random room that I believe I actually found online. But it was part of our homework to draw a room of some sort. I by no means like drawing skulls, but I think I did a pretty good job at it. Try and get them all in here for you. Yep, so 3 skulls. So I have no idea where it is. I might have thrown it away because I didn't like mine. I had a good idea. But we had to draw out a storyboard and then blow it up and actually do a detailed one, and I think it was like our final project. I think we had to do, it looks like 30 different scenes. So that took a long time. But I don't even remember what mine looked like, but this is just my brainstorming of it. We had to, I think, invent something or of that sort, so I just made a cape here. Kind of cheesy looking, but whatever. There's some flame-like material, a little jewel, some patterns, shading, so it'd be like an ombre. Nothing special. Here we have these cute little bears. My favorite is, I think, this one with the butterfly, but then again I also really like this one where he's jumping after the fish. But I really like these. I think they're so cute. I don't really draw like this normally, but I don't know, they turned out really cute, and I like how I did their fur. And I think what I did was I actually took real life pictures of bears and then just made them look kind of like cartoons. This was, we had to combine 2 different things and turn it into an invention, I guess. So I took a guppy, or a fish, and connected it with a gun and called it a guppy gun. So it's like a handle that's a fish with, you know, the barrel. I don't know, kind of silly. I revamped it. We had to like take this concept and then change it, and I think that's in a couple drawings from now. Again, just a simple pre-sketch of something, and then of course the actual thing. And this one I think turned out really nice. I like how I again did the really dark contrast. And I think this one looks more real than a lot of other ones, which I like. There's a little plastic fish that she had in the picture. We had to go around campus and pick some objects, and so I drew a fire hydrant, a bench, a bike against a tree, and then I wrote humble and kind. I don't like the bench, but I like the other drawings, and I think it's sort of cute all clustered together. I don't know why I had to draw this, but this is a terrible drawing that I did not really care about. I don't know why we drew it, and I'm guessing we weren't graded on it. It was just sort of what we did in class, because it is not very detailed oriented. I really like these. They're mushrooms. Okay, so I just looked it up, and primary colors obviously are blue, red, and yellow. The analogous colors are colors, I guess, that are correct. I was correct in saying like they're similar, they go in the same scheme together. Triadic colors, I guess is what they're called. I looked it up and it said mixing primary and secondary colors together, but it might be just secondary colors combined because none of these are primary colors. And then warm would just be colors that are on that side of the color wheel. On the warm side, you have cool and warm tones. So this whole page is just talking about color theory. Here we have another still life. It is just a bowl and chain on a table. I don't know if I finished this because it looks like over here I didn't finish shading maybe. Unless I plan to keep it that white. I don't know. The chain is just really dark compared to everything else, which makes me think it's unfinished, but I think it was an okay attempt. Alright, another still life. I really like how these reflections and shadows turned out. Glass again is just so hard. This is just a glass with this pattern on it. It is so difficult to do, but I think an overall good attempt. Nothing too fancy. Okay, so this is what I was talking about when we had to take that concept of the guppy gun and change it. So instead of half like the tail of a fish and an actual gun, I put, it would be like you shoot little guppies out of this little gun, and I just think it's super fun. It kind of reminds me of like Looney Tunes. It's like a beehive almost, like of a handle. I don't know, I really like this one. I just think it's super fun. This, I believe we just had to take a common household object, and I took some headphones wrapped up in their case and drew that. And that is the end of my sketchbook. It got really dark in here because it's storming, but thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next week.